What has been discovered in Zaña, Peru, could change the history of all of Latin America. A terrifying discovery in Peru is shocking the United States. Hidden beneath layers of sand and forgotten by time, an ancient secret has emerged that threatens to rewrite everything we thought we knew about the origins of civilization in the Americas. Join us as we learn what is happening in Peru. Let's go. Number 15. The Lost City Beneath the Sand. Zaña sits quietly in northern Peru's Lambayeque region, just a short distance from the Pacific coast. Most tourists speed past this unassuming spot, completely unaware they're standing above one of archaeology's most earth-shattering discoveries. This strategic location, perfectly positioned between the mighty Andes Mountains and the vast ocean, wasn't chosen by accident. For thousands of years, ancient civilizations recognized its value, leaving behind layers of history that archaeologists are only now beginning to unravel. The Spanish arrived in 1563 with grand plans to transform Zaña into a commercial powerhouse and religious center. They built impressive structures and dreamed of creating a thriving metropolis in this northern corner of the viceroyalty of Peru. But fate had other ideas. A brutal combination of pirate raids, devastating earthquakes, and catastrophic floods brought the colonial city to its knees, nearly erasing it from memory entirely. What those Spanish colonizers never realized was that they were building on top of something far more ancient and significant. Number 14. The temple that rewrites history. What started as a routine exploration on the outskirts of Zaña turned into the archaeological equivalent of finding a needle in a haystack, if that needle could rewrite human history. A team of dedicated Peruvian archaeologists noticed something unusual about what locals had always assumed was just a natural hill. Their instincts told them to dig deeper, and what they uncovered left the entire scientific community speechless. Buried under tons of sand and protected for millennia lay an enormous ceremonial temple unlike anything previously documented in the region. The structure features a distinctive circular design that stands in stark contrast to other pre-Incan architectural styles. Its stone and adobe walls form a complex of stepped platforms and narrow corridors that guide visitors toward a central ceremonial space charged with ancient power and symbolism. The interior walls tell an even more compelling story. Intricate friezes carved in low relief depict human faces with stylized features that seem to stare directly at anyone who enters the space. Number 13. 5 millennia underground. The discovery was shocking enough on its own, but when carbon dating results came back, archaeologists couldn't believe their eyes. This wasn't just an old temple, it was ancient. Scientific analysis revealed that the structure dates back more than 5,000 years, placing it firmly in the same time period as Corral, which until now was considered the oldest civilization in the Americas. This revelation doesn't just add another dot to the archaeological map, it completely transforms our understanding of early civilization in South America. For decades, scholars have focused their attention on southern Peru, believing that's where the continent's earliest complex societies emerged. The Zaña temple suggests we've been looking in the wrong place all along. 5,000 years ago, while Egypt was just beginning to build its first pyramids and Stonehenge was taking shape in distant England, the people of northern Peru were already constructing sophisticated ceremonial centers and developing complex religious systems. I have a question for you. First, I would like to say that it is possible to follow the greatest curiosities of our world every day. But to do so, you need to be subscribed to our channel. So, are you already subscribed? If not, take the opportunity to subscribe now. Also, take the opportunity to like the video, so YouTube will recommend more videos from our channel. So, leave your like right now. And now that you have done that, let's go. Number 12. The technology behind the discovery. This breakthrough didn't happen by accident. It took a special combination of cutting-edge technology and old-school archaeological passion to bring Zaña's secrets to light. For years, a dedicated team from Peru's Ministry of Culture had been quietly exploring lesser-known sites across northern Peru, driven by a hunch that the region held secrets even older than those found in the south. Armed with ground-penetrating radar systems, these modern explorers were able to detect anomalies beneath the surface without disturbing a single grain of sand. The technology revealed distinct patterns that matched the footprint of ritual structures found elsewhere in the Americas, giving the team confidence to proceed with physical excavation. When the digging finally began, it was done with surgical precision. Layer by layer, archaeologists peeled back the earth, conducting meticulous stratigraphic studies to understand how both natural forces and human activity had shaped the site over thousands of years. Number 11. Nature's perfect preservation. In a stroke of archaeological fortune, the temple was completely entombed by sand dunes that acted as a natural preservation system. While other ancient sites around the world suffered from looting, weather damage, and natural decay, Zaña's sacred spaces remained sealed in a dry, protective cocoon for 5 millennia. The region's arid climate played a crucial role in this preservation miracle. With minimal rainfall and stable temperature conditions, organic materials that would normally decompose remained intact, giving researchers an unprecedented look at ancient rituals. The sand didn't just cover the temple, it embraced it, protecting every carving, every stone, and every carefully placed offering from the ravages of time. This natural time capsule allowed the temple to emerge in a stunning state of preservation, with details so crisp they could have been carved centuries rather than millennia ago. Number 10. Challenging the corral narrative. For generations, schoolchildren across Latin America have been taught that Corral was the cradle of civilization in the Americas. Located in the Supi Valley north of Lima, this ancient city has long held the title of oldest urban center in the New World, dating back approximately 4,500 years. Its discovery revolutionized our understanding of early American societies, but Zaña may be about to steal its thunder. The temple at Zaña doesn't just match Corral's age, it exceeds it, and its sophisticated design suggests that the people who built it weren't isolated pioneers but members of an already well-established cultural tradition. This raises a fascinating possibility. What if civilization in the Americas didn't spread outward from a single point, but emerged simultaneously in multiple locations? This multi-center theory challenges everything archaeologists thought they knew about how complex societies developed in South America. Number 9. The networked ancient world. Traditional history has painted ancient American civilizations as isolated entities, developing in splendid isolation from one another. The discovery at Zaña shatters this outdated narrative. What's emerging, instead, is the picture of a continent crisscrossed by connections, a prehistoric network of cultural exchange that stretched from the Pacific coast to the Andean highlands and beyond. The similarities between ceremonial practices at Zaña and those found at sites hundreds of miles away suggest that these weren't isolated communities, but nodes in a vast web of shared knowledge, architectural techniques, artistic motifs, and religious concepts appear to have traveled along ancient pathways, spreading from one center to another and evolving in the process. This wasn't a world of isolated tribes, but a complex tapestry of interconnected societies sharing innovations, trading goods, and influencing one another's development. Number 8. Redrawing the archaeological map. With this single discovery, the entire archaeological map of South America needs to be redrawn. Regions previously dismissed as peripheral or secondary are now taking center stage in the story of New World civilization. Zaña, once just a footnote in colonial history, has emerged as a focal point for understanding the continent's ancient past. This paradigm shift has sparked a wave of new explorations across northern Peru and beyond. Areas that were previously overlooked by researchers are now being scrutinized with fresh eyes and modern techniques. The question on everyone's mind is simple but profound. If a temple of this significance could remain hidden for thousands of years, what else might be waiting to be found? Experts now believe that dozens, perhaps hundreds of similar sites may lie buried throughout the region, preserved like Zaña by the same natural conditions that kept its temple intact for millennia. Number 7. The global academic response. News of the Zaña discovery spread through the academic community like wildfire, igniting a level of excitement rarely seen in archaeological circles. Peruvian researchers who had long championed the importance of northern sites felt vindicated, while international experts who had focused exclusively on southern Peru and Bolivia were forced to reconsider their positions. Major research institutions from across the Americas and Europe have already dispatched teams to collaborate with Peruvian archaeologists, bringing additional resources and expertise to the exploration. Comparisons with other monumental sites like Tiwanaku and Teotihuacan have begun, with scholars noting that Zaña predates these famous locations by thousands of years. The media response has been equally enthusiastic. Major publications like National Geographic have featured extensive coverage of the find, bringing it to the attention of millions worldwide. Number 6. The path to World Heritage status. Recognition of Zaña's extraordinary importance has already begun at the national level, with Peru's Ministry of Culture fast-tracking the process to declare the temple complex a National Cultural Heritage Site. But this is just the first step in what many expect will be a journey to UNESCO World Heritage status, the highest form of protection and recognition available for historical sites. The application process is rigorous, requiring extensive documentation and proof of outstanding universal value. Yet experts familiar with the criteria believe Zaña easily qualifies on multiple counts, including its exceptional age, unique architectural features, and profound implications for understanding human cultural development in the Americas. UNESCO recognition would bring both benefits and challenges. On one hand, it would secure international protection and funding for continued research and preservation. Number 5. The unexplored depths. What makes the Zaña discovery even more tantalizing is how much remains to be revealed. By conservative estimates, archaeologists have uncovered less than 10% of the ceremonial complex so far. Ground-penetrating radar surveys suggest the temple is just one component of a much larger site that extends for hundreds of meters in all directions beneath the sand. Preliminary scans have identified what appear to be additional structures, including more platforms, courtyards, and possibly subterranean chambers that might contain intact burials or offerings. Each of these features represents a potential gold mine of information about the people who built and used this sacred space thousands of years ago. The exploration process must proceed with extreme caution. Exposing ancient structures to modern air and conditions after millennia of protected burial can trigger rapid deterioration if not properly managed. Number 4. The race against time and elements. While the discovery at Zaña represents an extraordinary opportunity for archaeological research, it also presents a critical conservation challenge. Now that the temple has been exposed to the elements, it faces threats that it was protected from for thousands of years. Wind erosion, occasional rainfall, temperature fluctuations, and even the breath of researchers can begin to degrade the ancient materials. Conservation teams are working alongside archaeologists, employing cutting-edge techniques to stabilize and protect the site. Specially formulated consolidants are being applied to fragile surfaces, while custom-designed shelters shield exposed areas from sun and wind. Every step of the excavation is documented in painstaking detail through 3D scanning and photogrammetry, creating a digital record that will preserve the site virtually even as physical conservation continues. The most immediate threat, however, comes not from nature but from humans. News of the discovery has already attracted attention from looters hoping to find valuable artifacts before official excavations can secure the area. Number 3. The Future Archaeological Park. Looking beyond the immediate work of excavation and preservation, plans are already taking shape for Zaña's future as a major archaeological park and research center. Government officials envision a facility that will both protect the ancient temple and make it accessible to visitors and scholars from around the world. The proposed development includes protective structures that would shield the most delicate areas while allowing clear viewing, along with a state-of-the-art museum to display artifacts and explain their significance. Interactive exhibits would use augmented reality to show visitors how the temple might have looked when it was in active use, bringing the ancient ceremonies back to life through technology. Perhaps most importantly, the plans include a dedicated research facility where archaeologists can continue to study new findings as they emerge. Number 2. The local community connection. While the archaeological significance of Zaña has captured international attention, the discovery has had an equally profound impact on the local community. For generations, residents had lived alongside, and literally on top of, one of the most important archaeological sites in the Americas without knowing it. Now they find themselves at the center of a historical revolution. Local leaders are working closely with archaeologists and government officials to ensure that the community benefits from the site's development. Plans include training programs to prepare residents for jobs as tour guides, site guardians, and support staff at the future archaeological park. Local artisans are being encouraged to create handicrafts inspired by the temple's motifs, providing sustainable income while celebrating the region's newly discovered heritage. Perhaps most importantly, educational initiatives have been launched to connect community members, especially children, with their ancient past. Number 1. Beyond Zaña. What else lies beneath? The most far-reaching implication of the Zaña discovery isn't just what it reveals about this specific site, but what it suggests about the rest of Latin America. If such a significant ceremonial center could remain hidden for millennia in a relatively accessible location, how many other ancient sites are still waiting to be found across the continent? Archaeologists are now reassessing known anomalies and geographical features throughout the region, applying the lessons learned at Zaña to identify potential sites for exploration, areas that were previously dismissed as unlikely candidates for ancient settlement are being reconsidered, while satellite imagery and remote sensing technologies are being deployed to search for telltale signs of buried structures. The excitement is palpable among researchers who believe we may be on the cusp of a golden age of discovery in Latin American archaeology. Each new find has the potential to further transform our understanding of when, where, and how civilization first took root in the Americas. Now, I have a special recommendation for you. Are you seeing this video that is appearing on the screen? Click on it because I'm sure you'll like it. Well, that's it, and until next time, Curious One.